Nagarathar Chamber of Commerce. Sail to prosper.
Good evening all. Myself Karthik, Ur Aranmani Siroyal. I'm here to introduce Mr.Devaprakash Giretheren. He is a leadership coach, a mentor and an author from Chennai. For over 15 years, he has been a public speaker, a mentor and a go-to leadership coach. He has been renowned for unlocking the potential of professionals and driving remarkable transformations worldwide. With a unique global experience spanning 30 years in Switzerland and 7 in Singapore, he has been rooted in India since 2023. He brings an unparalleled perspective on global leadership dynamics and organizational growth. He has won national awards in Switzerland and was also featured in LinkedIn India Inside a Member Spotlight this year. He was also recognized as a top professional and an insightful content creator. His transformational coaching model is built to tackle the biggest pain points facing today's workforce, providing actionable solutions for leadership development, excellence mastery, and next-level growth. We thank him for accepting to do this exclusive workshop for our next-gen Nagarathar budding entrepreneurs. I would like to leave you all with his favorite quote, "Lead the change." May I request Mr. Devaprakash sir to please come up on the stage. Please give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Let's do one thing. We're talking about leadership. ரொம்ப நேரமா எல்லாரும் உட்காந்துக்கோ, எல்லாரும் வாட்டி எழுந்திரிங்க. நான் கடைசியில் நான் தான் உங்களை தூங்க வச்சிட்டேன்னு எனக்கு பேர் வரப்படாதுல்ல. ஸோ டு யுவர் லெஃப்ட் or to your right, 3 times high five. கூச்சம் எல்லாம் படப்படாது. வெயிட் இட்ஸ் a clap. வெயிட் எல்லாரும் சேர்ந்து ஒரே நேரத்தில் வெயிட். குட். To your left or your right, 3 times சத்தமா இந்த மேலே அதிர் வரைக்கும் 3 times all. Good. Thank you. Please sit down. Thank you. ஆனால் மோஸ்ட் டிஃபிகல்ட்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, லஞ்சுக்கு அப்புறம் டிஃபிகல்ட். ஆனால் கிளைமேக்ஸ்னு வரும்போது காலையில் எல்லாரும் பேசி முடிச்சிருப்பாங்க. இப்போ நம்ம என்னதான் புதுசாக சொல்ல போகிறோம், காலையில் இருந்து இதுவும் நாங்கள் சொல்ல ஐடியா வச்சுருந்தோமே, இதை சொல்ல வச்சுருந்தோமேன்னு போட்டு ஸ்லைட்டை மாற்ற முடியாது. So let's see how this goes. I want to start with a question. And you might think what this has to do with leadership. And I want to ask someone, how to find happiness? State of mind. Success. Sorry? Be yourself. More of inner thing. Okay. Doing your passionate thing. Contentment. Happiness is a habit. டேங்க அப்பா இவ்வளோ பதில் இருக்கே ஹாப்பினஸுக்கு. கிரேட். பட் ஐ ஹியர் சம்டைம்ஸ் இல்லை நம்ம போய் சினிமா பார்க்கலாம், பிரியாணி சாப்பிட்லாம், ஆப்பிள் வாட்ச் வாங்கலாம், பீச்சில் நல்லா சுற்றலாம், நல்லா தூங்கி எழுந்திரிச்சு காலையில் லேட்டாக எழுந்திரிக்கிறது, அதுவும் ஹாப்பினஸ்ஸாக வந்துட்டுருக்கு. So when you look at this question, I always wonder, if you have something which you own, then the question is not how to find happiness, how to create happiness. Right? Most of your answers, when you looked at it, you are creating happiness, right? And this is also going to be the next 45 minutes. We are going to look of how we are going to actually create leaders. Because we are looking at a world where we think this is a leader, and we forgot about that we are ourselves also a leader. Everyone in this room, everyone in this world, this is what I believe, is truly a leader. And what does it set apart? Where do we stand out? That is the impact we have to create. So இது புரியறதுக்கு முன்னாடி நம்ம இதில் போகிறதுக்கு we have to find out what actually made us come through and where we are to come into situation-based leadership. In today's day and age, in today's world, be it Chennai, be it Tamil Nadu, be it India, be it Singapore, be it Switzerland, be it wherever you go, situation-based leadership is the number one thing which you have to do. Why is the world depending on a situation-based leadership? And we have to go a little bit on history. யாராவது இங்கே ஹிஸ்டரியில் ரொம்ப பக்காவாக இருக்கிறவங்க hands up. யாருமே இல்லையா? நல்ல வேலை தப்பிச்சிட்டேன். Good, I can tell you some things. Let's go on revolution over time. That's the first thing. When you go back thousands of years ago, whatever we were, the first thing, it was all about civilization. right? It was all about survival. That's why today, even if something happens, we protect. It's the inner instinct. Thousands of years munnadiye nama, whatever grand generations you want to call it, survival was the first thing. When humankind was there on earth, survival was there. We had to make sure that we can live, we can eat, we can have house, we can have shelter, and we don't die. That was the survival. Survival in the next step, slowly we started to find into agriculture. Food was there. We found processes. We found food that can be eaten, food that cannot be eaten, food for animals, whatever was there. Slowly, or madri agriculture vande next la nama poroche industrialization started. Slowly, things became reachable. Slowly, machines, industries came in. A lot of things, machinery started to become. This is also where we call the businesses, organization, entrepreneurship. Everything started to arise. In the industrialization, and slowly we came into globalization. Shipment started, flight started, cargo started, everything started, right? Everything goes on with the world becoming more and more global. With global, we have started something where we call the media, the landscape of media. Everything is now what happens here can be seen in Japan. What happens in Japan at a dinner, we can see live, and so much of things are also happening with media. Everyone has an opinion, everyone can share, everyone can think, everyone can collaborate. The media currently one of the urging points in digital technology, or you can also call it data. Whatever we do in today's technology, the output comes in as data, and that's where AI comes in, technology comes in, all the evolution comes in. So far, good, Ilya. This is evolution over time, thousands of years, and 2 minutes. But in today, really today, and for the next, let's say this century or even the coming century, the most important factor which we have to understand for humankind is all about mental and physical health. We are in a century where we are looking back, we are able to survive, we have food, we have industry, we have media, we have technology, but we are mentally and physically not as healthy as we were thousands of years before, right? There's so much of data, there's so much of things, especially when you want to balance mentally, there's lots of problems going on, lots of challenges also there in many countries, and many opportunities are being there. Physically is also, we are trying our level best to improve on that. So how do we take opportunity and how do we take best out of this entire evolution of our humankind? Is how we define also leadership. And when you want to look at one thing that really stands out, which is the number one currency in the world right now, is connection. Today, nothing happens without connection or trust. Be it this commerce, where you have your connection, be it wherever you go, you can give even whatever dollar or amount of money you want to give. People are not even taking it for free when they don't feel trust. And trust is the ultimate base fundamental for all of you when you want to see what leadership makes sense, right? Correct? Trust illama nama eduvume nama aarambikka poradhu. So I'm going to give you a little bit an understanding how we can see leadership. What is actually leadership all about? How do you see leadership? We can call it communication skills, we can keep decision making, critical thinking, lots of things are there, right? So this is a word again in English, it has a academical language definition, it has an academic language definition, there are certain things, you can look it in Wikipedia, you can ask ChatGPT, ellarume leadership na no variety vachiruvanga. But I have a definition of how I see leadership. I see leadership is a journey of an individual to lead towards a goal. This is how I define it. This is my dictionary, and this is how I define it. And we will take the yellow highlighted words for the next 38 minutes, and we will go through that. And we'll start with one thing, which is actually the journey. We are all in a journey. In our life, in our entitlement, whatever we do in the business, in family, and everything we do, we are in a journey, where we start on a journey. But when you go through a journey, there's something which we call challenges. And when you look at this screen right now, you will see a lot of challenges. Do you see them? And do you also relate to them? Some of them you know very well. Some of them you hug very well. Some of them you don't know very well. Right? But this is something which we face as humans in today's day and age. Whoever, including myself in this room, cannot say I don't have any of this challenge. அப்படி யாராவது இருக்கீங்களா? Good. But as a leader, when we go through it, we also see this as an opportunity, and when we say we won't therefore be every day becoming better. And there's an opportunity for us. It's all, as some people said, it's all in the mindset. It's all how we start and how we do and how we take ourselves into that. Right? We can be every day better than yesterday. And all the speakers were really success people. They showed us how they become day by day better by that. So when you go through that entire leadership journey, we're asking ourselves first, how could leadership be enabled? And in my experience, when I see people from Switzerland or people in Singapore, people in India, wherever I go, we always say, இந்த ஊரில் இப்படி தான்ப்பா, இந்த ஊரில் இந்த பிரச்சனை இதெல்லாம், இந்த ஊரில் நம்ம எல்லாம் பண்ணவே முடியாது, உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா இந்த ஊரை பற்றின்னு? இப்படி கிடையாது. You go foreign, you live there, you stay there, we are all humans. We all have our basic fundamental need. There are differences in cultures, definitely. There are differences in education. There are differences in all the aspects or the value system. But basically, humans are humans. So the question comes, where do we enable leadership? And there's one thing which I really love, and I would love to share that with you, which is also in Sanskrit, which say, Yat bhavam tat bhavati. What you think is what you become. If there is one thing which you really want to remember about yourself, is what you think is what you become. It's as simple as complicated as it is. If you really try to understand what is your mindset, what is the thing you are adapting to and which is your driving behaviors, and that behaviors drives results, and that results come back to your mindset. So நம்ம ஆரம்பே தப்பாக இருந்துச்சுன்னா நமக்கு நடுவில் போகும்போதும் தப்பாகும், ரிசல்ட்டும் தப்பாக இருக்கும். So wherever you go, you understand your loop. When you understand your mindset, I am in a wrong mindset, how can I address that? That is where you really need to go and find out, what am I consuming wrongly? What are my people surrounding me? What are the books I read? What are the time I spend? All the things nurtures your mindset, that drives behaviors, and that brings into results. All the panel speakers before, all the guest speakers, everyone are constantly working on their mindset. Otherwise, there won't be any success for them. They might have failures, they might have challenges, they might have everything which they see. But திரும்ப அடுத்த நாள் எந்திரிச்சா, let's work it out. What is my mindset? Where do I enable my leadership? And when you go through that, you ask yourself, how to lead? How do I lead? And there's one thing when you want to go and find out your leadership, we were talking a lot about emotions. And I used to say you can't control your own emotions, you have to manage your emotions. Emotions aren't wrong. I used to say, the கோபம்ன்றது வந்து தப்பே கிடையாது. எங்க கோபம் இருக்கணும் அங்கே இருந்தே ஆகணும். We used to hear எல்லாம் கோபப்படப்படாது, திட்டப்படாது. No. When you have the rights to anger, show it. என்ன தப்பாகுதுன்னா அந்த கோபத்தை டே பூரா காமிக்காமல் வீட்டில் வந்துட்டு நைட்டில் டைனிங் டேபிளில் காமிக்கிறது தான் தப்பாகுது. ரைட்? ஒரு டைனிங் டேபிளில் நம்ம வந்து ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருந்து போட்டு ஆஃபீஸில் போய் கஸ்டமர் கிடையாது, பரவாயில்ல நீ நாளைக்கு பே பண்ணு, இட்ஸ் ஓகே. These are the emotions which we try to understand, where we can't control but we need to manage them. So the difference between control and manage is very simple, right? Control is literally like a remote control, on, off, and emotions aren't like that. You can't on, off. The more you have in your mindset something which controls your emotions, then you can't switch it off. Okay, இப்போ நான் அழுறதில்லை, இப்போ நான் சிரிச்சே ஆகணும். You can't do that for how long you want to act. You can't do that. So you start to manage it. You start to find out how are the things driving my emotions, give them space and work it out. And really work it out in my heart. And one of the thing I really love in a culture, especially நம்ம தமிழ்னு பார்க்கும்பொழுது, there's something which I used to say, do what you say and say what you do. இது யாராவது தமிழில் சொல்கிறீங்களா? நான் சொல்கிறதா செய்வேன், செய்கிறதா சொல்வேன். இது ஒரு பஞ்ச், இது ஞாபகம் வச்சுங்க. There's one thing in leadership, சொல்கிறத செய்யுங்க, செய்கிறத சொல்லுங்கள். இல்லைன்னா சொல்லாதீங்க, சொன்னால் செய்யுங்க. இந்த ஊரில் நான் 2 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி தான் வந்தேன். எனக்கு ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு. நான் இதோ வந்துடுவேன் சார், 2 மணி நேரத்தில் வருவேன் சார்ன்னு சொல்லி நைட்டு வரைக்கும் வரமாட்டாங்க. ஐ யூஸ் டு வெயிட். இல்லை சார் நீங்கள் 4 மணின்னு சொன்னீங்க. ஆமாம் சார் இதோ வரேன். நடக்காது. நிறைய விஷயங்கள் இந்த மாதிரி நம்மளும் அப்படியே அடாப்ட் பண்ணிகிட்டே போகிறோம். பட் what we are setting today is also delaying a lot of decisions, lot of businesses, lot of things. ஏன்னா we take it for granted. இல்லை நம்ம அப்படி தான், we are very flexible. And you can be flexible in what you want to be flexible, but when you say it, there has to be a value. அவர் சொல்வார் 4 மணிக்கான 10 மணிக்கு தான் வருவாருன்னா, what is the value of you as a leader, right? And your mindset will also say, நீ சொல்கிறது செய்யவே மாட்டேன். How many people need more than 2 times snoozing to wake up? யாரும் கை தூக்க மாட்டீங்களா? 1 அலார்மில் எழுந்திரிச்சிருவீங்களா? 1 ring, 2 ring, கை கொஞ்சம் மேலேயே தூக்கலாம். So these are the things, right? Thank you. These are the things when you wake up in the morning. So already in the morning it starts. 5:45 அலாம் வச்சுட்டு 7 மணிக்கு தான் நான் எந்திரிப்பேன்னா நம்ம அப்போவே ப்ரோக்ராம் பண்ணிட்டோம். அப்போவே it starts. And there are small little tiny things which goes to your mindset. Mindset becomes behaviors, and behavior becomes your results. So when you want to really do in leadership one thing, do what you say what you do. This is one thing I really love to say on that. Now, okay, இப்போ நான் செம்மையாக இருக்கேன். I build up myself. I'm very strong on my emotions. I have clear leadership quality. I have my mindset. I have my behaviors. I have a result. இப்போ நம்ம வெளியில் போகும்பொழுது டீம் ஒன்று இருக்குது. எல்லாரும் பிஸ்னஸில் வேலை செய்கிறோம் சரி, காலேஜில் படித்தாலும் சரி, எதுவாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, we have a team. டீமை எப்படி மேனேஜ் பண்ணலாம்? பெஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் பார்க்குறீங்களா? யாருக்கெல்லாம் இது தெரியாது? ரொம்ப பழைய படம். யாராவது எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுங்க இந்த சிச்சுவேஷன். ஆணியே பிடுங்க வேணாம். ஆணியே பிடுங்க வேணாம். பிடுங்குறதெல்லாம் தேவையில்லாத ஆணி தான். சரி, யாருக்கெல்லாம் இந்த மாதிரி பிஸ்னஸ் ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு கை தூங்க, நிஜமாக கை தூங்க, இப்படி தான் பிஸ்னஸ் ரன் பண்ணுறீங்க, அந்த ஒருத்தர் தூக்கிட்டாரு, நீங்கள் ஆணியை பிடுங்கிட்டே இருக்கீங்களா சார்? So wonderful. When you look at this scene, நீங்கள் இது ஒரு ரிசர்ச்சாகவே எடுத்துக்கலாம். இந்த ஒரு 2 minute சீனில் வாட் எவர் ஹேப்பன்ஸ் ஆஸ் அ ஃபன்னு கூட பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இங்கே இருக்கிற ஒரு சர்டன் கேரக்டர் he literally does micro manage the team. இப்போ நீங்கள் சொல்லலாம், அவன் படிக்கலப்பா, அவன் ப்ளூ கலர், அவனுக்கு அவ்வளோதான் வரும், அவ்வளோதான் தெரியும், நம்ம அப்படி தான் சொல்லணும் ஒன்று சொல்லும்பொழுது கடைசியில் அவர் தான் போய் க்ளீன் பண்ணுறாரு, அவர் தான் திட்டு வாங்குறாரு, அவர் தான் வேலையை கேன்சல் பண்ணுறாரு. So when you want to find out how to lead a team, there are lots of things which I always feel like when you talk about such things, நிறைய பேர் ஆஃப் ஆயிடுவாங்க. எல்லாம் கேட்க தான் நல்லா இருக்குது, ஃபேக்ட்ஸ் என்ன கொஞ்சம் கொடுங்களேன்னு சொன்னால், தீஸ் ஆர் லேட்டஸ்ட் ஃபேக்ட்ஸ். என்கேஜ்மெண்ட் ஃபேக்ட்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 2025 ஒர்க் ஸ்பேஸில் வந்து ஒரு about 80% of the people feel misused. They want to be really they want to be highly autonomous. They don't want to be micromanaged. So what happens? Productivity becomes very, 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 very low. Because அங்கேனா நீ சொன்னா தான் நான் செய்வேன், இல்லைன்னா நான் செய்ய மாட்டேன், இல்லை நீ சொல்கிறது மட்டும்தான் நான் செய்வேன், நான் செய்யவே மாட்டேன். இப்போ நம்மளும் கேட்போம், என்னப்பா அவன் ஒன்று நீயா யோசிக்க மாட்டியான்னா, நீ தான் எப்போவுமே சொல்லிட்டு இருக்க நான் இப்படி தான் செய்யணும்னு சொல்லி, வேறு மாதிரி நீ எனக்கு சொல்ல, ஐ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் த ஃப்ரீடம், ரைட்? அண்ட் திஸ் இஸ் a report from the data which we have online. You can see it's a ADP, People at Work 2025 reports. 80% of wastage is happening in workforce because we are micromanaging people. The next factor comes in when you go into that AI has started and many people are feeling like our organization and our people are not ready for AI. AI can do lots of wonder, can be a big assistant for you in your organization, but people are not ready because they still want to micromanage. But புதுசாக வர்ற companies, startups, வேறு organizations AI வச்சுட்டு ரெடி ஆனோடனே they take it over. They set up a culture, they set up a success, and then they find out, sorry, we are too late. So AI is also taking over. So now when we talk all that leadership vacuum, 19% of the organization on a national survey, they believe that the leaders are not really developing leadership skills. I am developing people that can follow me. That's it. I don't want to develop leadership skills in my organization. நான் சொல்கிறத நீ செஞ்சால் போதும், நீயா யோசிக்க வேணும். அதில் இருந்தும் பொழுது ஃபயரிங் கல்ச்சர் ஒன்று வருது. ஃபயரிங் கல்ச்சர் வந்தோடனே ஒரு இடத்துல நான் வேலையை விட்டு போகிறேன், இன்னொரு வேலைக்கு நான் புதுசாக போகும்பொழுது அங்கே என்னை ஹையர் பண்ணி எப்படியோ நான் ரொம்ப நாள் வச்சுருக்க மாட்டாங்கன்னு போகுது. ஸோ த என்டையர் கல்ச்சர் ஆஃப் ஜாயினிங் leaving a company, joining a company, leaving a company, joining a company starts. Because you get fired and then you get hired. Because I don't want to build a culture or a team where I want to sustain and I want to say this makes sense. இது தாண்டி லாஸ்ட் ஃபேக்ட் ஒன்று பார்த்தீங்கன்னா which is also very very pathetic, which is we don't have enough gender equality leadership positions. Lots of girls, lots of women are there, and it's your hands to come up and to raise the bar and to come to that. But அது கூட நிறைய பேர் bias வச்சுட்டே இருக்காங்க, because leaders can only be male and it cannot be female ன்னு சொல்லி இந்தியாவில் மட்டும் இல்லை நிறைய கண்ட்ரீஸில் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் இருக்குது. பட் ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்லி இஃப் யூ டாக் அபவுட் தமிழ்நாடுன்னு பார்க்கும்பொழுது this again women in leadership in corporates India 2024 report சொல்லுது. And we are talking about 56%, which is only 10 to 30% now women in leadership position. So when we are all leaders and we have all these possibilities to do that, how we lead not only ourselves but our team makes a big change of all these facts which we can also correct, right? Now last but not least, I'm coming to the goal, right? We looked at it, it's a journey of an individual which leads to a goal. And when you look at a goal, everyone has a goal, everyone wants to achieve something, and I want to give you a small exercise. It's a group discussion, it will be a bit noisy, but let's do that. And I will introduce you to our hero of day. He is Mr. Nail Gun. இது யாருக்காவது தெரியுமா? இண்டஸ்ட்ரி நிறைய பேர் இங்கே கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷனில் இருக்கீங்க. நெயில் கன் தெரியும்ல சார்? நெயில் கன். கேன் யூ எக்ஸ்பிளைன் டு மீ? நெயில் கன். So you have a gun, you load up nails, and then it automatically, right? Good. And this is my hero of the story, Ivarda. Okay? And we will find out what this nail gun has done. So imagine yourself, the story goes like this. There's a very successful entrepreneur. She starts a side hobby. She's good in music, and she says, I have a talent in that. And for whatever reason, she says, okay, one of my room is very successful, and I want to have a studio in that. Okay, or studio, audio studio எனக்கு ஒன்று வேணும். அந்த ஆடியோ ஸ்டுடியோ நான் வந்து ஒரு கான்ட்ராக்டர் ஒரு பில்டர்கிட்ட போகிறேன். அந்த ஸ்டுடியோ பக்காவாக பண்ணுங்கள், சவுண்ட் ப்ரூஃப் இருக்கணும், லைட்டிங் இருக்கணும், எவ்ரி திங் ஹேஸ் டு பி தேர் ஸோ தட் ஐ கேன் ரியலி கோ த்ரூ அண்ட் ஹேவ் மை ஜாமிங். This has to be my second income, and I want to set up my career on that. Okay, it was my laptop. ஸோ அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு நான் ஒரு பில்டர்கிட்ட நம்ம கொடுத்துட்டோம். அந்த கஸ்டமர் எல்லாம் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணிட்டு வீட்டு சாவியை கொடுத்துட்டு ஷீ சேஸ் ஐ வில் பி அவுட் ஃபார் அ வீக், யூ கேன் இந்த சாவி வச்சுங்க, பின்னாடி நீங்கள் அந்த ரூமுக்கு வரலாம், இதை போய் பண்ணுங்கள், நான் பிஸ்னஸ் ஓனர், நான் வந்து சண்டே நான் வந்துடுவேன், 11 o'clock நாங்கள் மீட் பண்ணிடலாம். Okay, Sunday 11 o'clock the customer has to come back, and the business owner who is an architect and the builder will come and show what has been the progress. And this is the picture of that room right now. Okay, so in the customer enna achu, she comes at 10:30. She arrived a little bit early, and since it's being her home, she doesn't have to ask any permission. She goes straight away into the room and sees, okay, lots of things being done, everything great. And you might see நம்ம ஹீரோ உங்க மேல இருக்க தெரியுதா? You might see him on the top, it's hanging. So she goes into the room and finds everything, and she unfortunately or wireless she gets in, fumbles in, and that nail gun marks, and it goes straight into her eyes. Okay, wow. Completely she falls down and she's bleeding. Luckily on the 15 minutes la the business owner vandrar, she goes to emergency, they get to the hospital, she gets blinded one-sided, and a huge problem is happening because she puts up a case asking for lifetime settlement, and she wants to demand number of crores that she can be again living, because her entire career is switched off. Now situation-based leadership, I want you to think how to handle this situation as a leader. யாராவது கதை கேட்கலையா? Think about it. With your person on the left or the right, you have 5 minutes to discuss and share your point of view. Do you protect your business? Do you protect the customer? Do you fire the person who has done the mistake? What do you do? Okay. I will start with the corner over there. Some of you, 2 or 3 people, just get up and share whatever you thought or you discussed. Someone. நீங்களா வரலன்னா நானா பாயிண்ட் பண்ணிடுவேன். And I have already one person in mind. இந்த ஆரஞ்சு கலர் நீங்கள் தான், நீங்களே தான். எஸ், எழுந்துறீங்க ப்ளீஸ். ஷேர் வாட் வாஸ் யுவர் தாட். கேன் வி ஷேர் அ மைக்? கேன் வி ஹேவ் அ மைக்? This situation, how do you see, how do you handle, what is your decision, what are you going to do?
Maybe if I am in that situation, I might pinpoint the client saying it was their fault.
So you're saying the client
Is at fault because she should have made some announcement that she's coming, or once she has entered, she might have made a notice to that person saying, yeah, I'm in this site or something. Maybe.
ஸோ நான் என் வீட்டுக்கு நான் வர்றதுக்கு நான் உங்கள்கிட்ட பெர்மிஷன் கேட்டு நான் வரணும்.
No, though she might have we have a guest in the place, so they might they have to tell that I am there at the house, right? They would have notified, because it's not the labor's fault according to my guess, because he was beside the board, so he couldn't have seen the client or something. So he might be a fault, but a minimum percentage. But
ஸோ நீங்கள் சொல்கிறீங்க எனக்கு கண் பார்வை போச்சு, என் வீட்டில் நான் உங்களுக்கு சாவியை நம்பி கொடுத்துருக்கேன், ஒரு கன்னை வச்சுட்டு போயிருக்கீங்க, நான் என் ரூமுக்கு போய் நான் விழுந்து என் கண் பார்வை போனதுக்கப்புறம் ஏன் தப்பு இல்லைன்னு நீங்கள் சொல்கிறீங்க, ரைட்? அப்படி இல்லை, ஆனால் அப்படிதான்.
ஒன்று அவங்க வந்து she should have been more careful.
She should have been more careful. Okay, good. Opposite, please. Opposition. யாராவது கை தூங்களேன், அவங்க சொல்கிறது ஃபுல்லாக தப்புன்னு யாராவது சொல்லுங்கள் பார்க்கலாம். அந்த வாங்கம்மா, நீங்கள் வாங்க ப்ளீஸ், அங்கே மைக் கொடுங்க.
As a business owner, I will take the full responsibility as a leader, because person's security is more important.
Okay.
Proper direction should be given to keep these kind of items safely. அது அவங்க சொல்லிட்டு வந்தாங்களோ சொல்லாமல் வந்தாங்களோ, even for the workers it's not safe. Anytime this situation is not good. So
Sorry, as a business owner, you take full responsibility. Do you fire the person who has put that?
I will fire the person.
You fire the person.
Yes.
ஸோ மீதி கம்பெனியில் வேலை செய்கிறவங்க எல்லாம் நாளைக்கு எப்படி வேலை செய்வாங்க நீங்கள் ஃபயர் பண்ணால்?
அப்படி இல்லை, இந்த மாதிரி யாரும்
அப்படி இல்லை
இல்லை ஃபயர் பண்ணணும். ஏன்னா இது வந்து லைஃப் ரிஸ்க்கு. அந்த மாதிரி கேர்லெஸ்ஸாக இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு வந்து வார்னிங் கொடுக்கலாமாங்கிறது இட்ஸ் நாட்.
ஸோ நான் உங்கள் கம்பெனியில் நான் வேலை செஞ்சேன்னா நாளைக்கு நான் ஒரு இடத்துக்கு போனேன்னா 2 தடவை யோசிக்கணும்.
இந்த மாதிரி லைஃப் ரிஸ்க் எடுக்கணும்.
லைஃப் ரிஸ்க் இருக்குங்க பொழுது நான் யோசிக்கணும் கரெக்டாக பண்ணுறேன்னா.
கண்டிப்பாக
குட்.
சின்ன சின்ன தப்பு we can tolerate, but லைஃப் ரிஸ்க் சின்ன சின்ன தப்புக்கு நம்ம we can give இது சான்ஸ். லைஃப் ரிஸ்க்குக்கு சான்ஸ் கொடுக்க முடியாது.
ஓகே ஓகே சார் ப்ளீஸ்.
Looks like, somebody left the battery on the nail gun. And if you go further, he was probably not trained to remove the battery before he finishes his job. And then that comes on me as a leader, because at some point I failed to coach the employee, and more than likely the entire team has gone through a similar.
So do you fire the person who has done the mistake?
No, I would rather look at it as my fault for not having a system to train the employee before he comes in and starts
So you would question the process?
I would question the process.
You would not question the people?
Yeah, 100%.
So இப்போ இருக்க situationல we have blames the company, someone who takes the ownership of the organization, someone who says I don't fire the person. Then we have a fourth opinion.
Business, we need to first set the process where we can put the safety things on place. We can write the process of the safety, like we should not load the nail in the gun before we leave. So these kind of process we need to first do it, and then we need to secure the companies into insurance, something like that. Something has happened, and obviously I wouldn't fire the employee, rather I give them a training session where how the things has to be kept. And even for the customer, we need to put lot of hazard signs, so the tools where it has to be kept, so proper signboards. So literally I'll go with the process. At the same time, a business owner need to pay compensation, because you said she lost an eye. So we need to generously give the compensation to the affected person. Even though it is going to be a loss for us, we need to ensure that we do all the protocols. We earn that, but we should also respect the customer that something has happened. So taking responsibility, setting the process, safety toolbox talk for all our employees, and giving them training. So we need to do all this process so that in future such incidents never come, and we can get into a very good process oriented.
Okay, so process, people and then training the people. Okay, good. So ipo I think we are about 200 people here in this room, and I think everyone will agree and disagree on how you want to take this situation forward. Ipo in the situation la, this is just an exercise for you to warm up, and welcome to the world of entrepreneurship when you come and face such situation where it's not always about eyesight loss, but also huge changes or huge mistakes that can lead into very big bangs. If it's as ma'am said, if it's a tiny small problem na parvailla, but the problem is edu perusu edu chinnadhu nama identify pannamale problem panninde irpom. We don't identify idu enna idu or chumma edo ஒரு கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஃபீல் ஏதோ சும்மா அதை ஹேங் பண்ணுதா, இதனால் யாருக்கு என்ன ஆச்சுன்னு நம்ம சின்னதுன்னு நினச்சதுனால ஒரு பெரிய கண்ணே போயிடுது. And when you continue on that, and you throughout your journey as a leader, this entire journey of right or wrong, good or bad, good leader or bad leader will constantly be a question and an answer for you to answer. Either right or wrong. Even if you say, for example, parvailiya nama vandu process eduthu varuvom, let's train the people, let's make sure that is this, your competitor will say in a business context, ivlo periya thappu pannta and paiyana kuda thookla par, and paiyana thookla, and company la avangalukku restricte kedaiyadhu. நம்ம எல்லாம் அப்படி கிடையாது, ஒரு பையன் தப்பானா உடனே தூக்கிறோம், because we are very clear that we want to serve our customers well. சொல்லுவாங்களா இல்லையா? சொல்லுவாங்களா இல்லை? கண்டிப்பாக சொல்லுவாங்க. அப்போ நான் வந்து ப்ராசஸை எல்லாரும் ட்ரெயின் பண்ணி நல்ல விதமாக லீடர்ஸ்க்கு எடுத்து பார்க்குறேன்னு பார்த்தா காம்படிட்டர் வில் சே சம்திங். அது ரைட் ஆர் ராங் is a very situation based answer in this context, and this is just one example for you to sit in the position and to make you think what is it all about situation based leadership. And when we go on that in the situation based leadership, who am I, what am I, and what am I going to do, we are coming to the last point, which is all about finding your goals. And to find your goals, you really need to understand your why. Why am I existing? Why am I doing this? Why am I following this passion? And why am I not doing this? And that is the most important thing. Now these whys cannot be all combined. நான் எல்லாருக்கும் நல்லது செய்யணும், எல்லாரும் கை தூங்க, யாராவது நல்லது செய்ய விரும்பாதவங்க? ஸோ யாருமே இல்லை. ஸோ எல்லாருக்கும் நல்லது செய்யணும்னா இப்போ நம்ம யாருக்கோ ஒருத்தர் கெடுதல் நடந்து போச்சு, கண் பார்வை போச்சு. இப்போ ஆர் யூ நவ் ஃபாலோவிங் யுவர் வை ஆஃப் யுவர் பிஸ்னஸ் or your why of your identity as a personality? Which why are you following? And that is the goals which is keep on evolving, adapting. When you look at generational nama paakumbodhu, the why and the goal keeps on changing. They are not always the same, and you have to readapt them again and again and again. And it's a personal why and a goal. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? And the best way, in my humble opinion, to find out your why and your goals is really to talk with your near ones, and in business you talk with your customers. Why do I exist as a business, and why do I exist as a human being? You talk with your near ones, be it your parents, be it your friends, be it with your mentor, be it with anyone whom you feel they are your well-wishers. Try to identify what is my why. The more you identify why am I this, why am I doing like that, then your goals will become clearer, and you can refine them again and again and again. ஒரு 2 வருஷத்துக்கு அப்புறம் திரும்ப கோல் மாறுதுன்னா தாராளமாக மாறலாம். வேர்ல்டே மாறின்னு இருக்கு. ஒரு கோல் எடுத்துட்டு இதுதான் 60 வருஷம் 70 வருஷம் போகிறதுன்ற அந்த cycle has changed a lot, and that's why adaptation is so much important, and that's why leadership makes a huge important thing, because if with your mindset you are going to change it constantly and look at this world every day different. And if you don't do it, your relations or your families will say, and if you also still don't listen to them, your customers will say. End of the day, your customers will say, and probably then it's a bit too late to do that. So to sum it up, நம்ம ஆரம்பிக்கும் பொழுது நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பார்த்தோம், connection is the most important thing, and that generates trust. And that the trust is the most important thing which we have to generate in this century. Without trust, nothing is moving. And when you go on into trust, you start your journey, where your journey is all about how to overcome these challenges as an individual, where you develop your leadership skills. And by enabling your leadership skills by having the right mindset, which we talk about behaviors that drives results, where excellence or perfect or to be outstanding is not an option, it is a must. When you drive on that and you enable your leadership, you find yourself how I drive by managing my emotions and also managing my team. And when you go on the team, you understand that they also need to be empowered. We have seen facts like they are not empowered, we don't have gender equality, we are not ready to face AI, and we are literally wasting resources by micromanaging them. இதையும் தாண்டி நம்ம போத்து லாஸ்ட்டாக பார்க்கும்பொழுது we are trying to understand why am I existing and what is my goal. This is how you can entirely look at the situation and say this is how situation-based leadership is starting. This is why and why and why. And when you go through all these things, you might wonder எப்படி இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஒர்க் ஷாப் வந்து 45 minutes இது ஒவ்வொரு டாப்பிக்கும் ஒன் டே நம்ம பேசலாம், 45 minutes இது பேசுகிறது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். But can I have these people stand up? They are here in this room. They are here. Yes, please stand up. Okay, 1, 2, yes. These were the people that guided me and told me this is the topic we need to talk today. So they were online. We connected this week and they had plenty of questions which you can see, which made me really think and go deeper. Okay, how can I take this 45-minute session? And this is hopefully some of the questions you got answered. Some of the questions we still have a Q&A with time being said. And coming to an end, situation-based leadership is nothing but, I have one punchline, அது மட்டும் நான் சொல்கிறேன், நான் அதை எப்போவுமே சொல்லுவேன், ஒன்றில் கலக்கணும் இல்லைன்னா கலக்கும். When you are a leader, உங்களுக்கு ஆப்ஷனே கிடையாது, கலக்கணும் இல்லைன்னா உங்களுக்கு வயிறு கலக்கும். There is no other way of doing it. Exceptionally, you do business, you be human, you do whatever it is, கலக்கணும், வேறு வழியே கிடையாது. அவரேஜாக இருக்கிறதுக்கு too many people are there and too many people are very short and lazy in copying it. ஒருத்தர் பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா அதை அப்படியே காப்பி பண்ணணும். Be yourself, be authentic, be a legacy. And that's how you can really sustain and create some improvement in your life, and you can really become someone who says, that's how I want to become in my way. So many people do miss out on this. We are living in a country where we have billion here, but when you travel, when you go globally, when you go wherever into the world, there are places where for kilometers you don't see any humans. And whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you think does become a message to the world. And you have such a great opportunity in this country. We have an opportunity to create literally so many young entrepreneurs to take them to the next level. So everything which we do is a message. And that message வந்து சும்மா சொத்தையா வேஸ்ட்டாக ஆவரேஜாக பண்ணுறதை விட அந்த சிச்சுவேஷனை புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு நீங்கள் செம்மையாக கலக்கினீங்கன்னா success is just the first step. Everything else will follow. With that being said, if you have any questions, please let's ask. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to call upon our NCC EZ members to honor Mr. Devaprakash sir.